Henley-on-Thames is synonymous with rowing, home of the Royal Regatta in the summer, home to year-round amateur enthusiasts, and for the last 5 years a home from home for the Cambridge Women's 8. For half a decade they've been the dominant force in the women's boat race. Abby Chapman is aiming to stop the rot for Oxford. President Anne Cox, she's steered both the Dark Blues men and women in the past, both times without success. And there was no luck for her at the toss either. The towering Cambridge president called that one correctly.
With all the races, it's nice to get the station you want, but at the end of the day, the stations are very fair, and so it's not that important, really.
You are the survivor from the Cambridge Blue Boat from last year. How much subtle pressure is being applied to extend this prolonged winning streak?
Each year you take from the beginning. You start at Nat Champs with athletes and just work towards this race. Each year's got to be on its own. You have different athletes, different people. Lucky to have the same coaching team who've been fantastic, and I've had a great committee this year, so it's been good.
Abby, from your perspective, you have coxed the men's crew and the women's crew the last 2 years. How confident are you that it's going to be third time lucky for you in Oxford?
I'm pretty confident this year. Everything's gone to plan in training. We've had the best coaching team possible. We're really raring to go, looking forward to it.
You've made a few changes, I believe, from last year as well.
We've had a new coaching team who, up till this year, coached just the lightweight women, and they've had proven results with the lightweight women. So now we'll see what they can do with the heavyweights as well.
Gary Herbert, Britain's Olympic gold medal winning cox, is the ace in that Oxford coaching pack. He's well used to playing pre-race mind games with his crews, and he generally wins. Do you think they can do it this year?
Definitely. Definitely, without a doubt, without a doubt. That's what we try to bring. We try to bring the sort of psychological side of things and the mental side of things. And all my success with the Searle brothers and with other crews in the national team has all been down to mental approach and having the right sort of psychology.
Confident words from Gary, but down on the towpath another Olympic champion, Matthew Pinsent, was offering words of consolation to his beaten Oxford reserve crew. Would the same fate befall their blue boat?
Go!
Umpire Fred Smallbone and thousands of spectators were about to find out. The 52nd women's boat race underway, and immediately it's the Dark Blues of Oxford on the right-hand Berkshire station who are very quickly away. Cox Abby Chapman has them stroking 44 to the Light Blues 41, and it's all part of Gary Herbert's plan to front-load the first half of this 2,000 metres course to really apply pressure on their heavier opponents. But with 150 metres gone, Cambridge on the Buckinghamshire station are well into a powerful rhythm. And despite a lower stroke rating than their rivals, they've established a very slight lead around a canvas. The ponytailed all-rounder Sarah Winkless, who also has blues for athletics and netball, pulling hard at 7, just behind stroke Cat Astley, and the man calling the shots, Minnie Rogers, or Elvis as he's now become known. Rhythm and light blues is the order of the day where he's concerned, and the strategy appears to be working. Approaching the Remenham Club, where most of the crowd is waiting, Oxford are now a third of a length behind. They're gamely trying to stay close, but passing halfway, Sarah Winkless and her crew put in a big push, and Abby Chapman is left trying to lift her 8 as the gruelling stages of this 6-minute race approach. Oxford are having to work really hard now, stroking 38.5, and that's all the more painful because they've now lost sight of Cambridge, who are a length clear as they approach Temple Island. The thighs and the arms are burning, but the Light Blues can blot out the pain in the final few metres as they surge towards the finish marker. They're going to be winners for the 6th year in succession. As the elation sets in, they'll agree that it's been worth the 23 hours of training every week over the last few months. But for Oxford, only numbness and disappointment. 12 months ago, the margin was 4 lengths. This time, only 3.5 seconds and just over a boat length separate them. But the emotional divide couldn't be wider. Cambridge cox Elvis Rogers, not too shook up at the thought of a ducking. But it was more Heartbreak Hotel at the Dark Blues HQ. In time, perhaps they'll reflect on the great improvements they made this year.
Ladies, very many congratulations, you've done it. So, tell me what the feeling is like.
That's pretty good.
It's nothing better.
Nothing better. It's all over so quickly though. Yeah,
It's just so surreal. It's so amazing. It's just like an out-of-body experience.
You've been training 6 months for this, and it's all passed in a complete flash. Did it go exactly to plan?
Just about.
Yep.
We had a pretty good race. We had the pushes where we wanted to go and made the moves and just walked away, really.
This is another moment they'd planned for, presentation time. The victory patently as sweet on dry land as it was on water. And their message to the Cambridge men? Make ours a double, please.